Hi, my name is James, and I'm here from Helping Hands Healthier Way. Our website is here to provide you with some information on exercise, specific movements, ways to make your exercise movements better, and get you the most function out of your workout. We also provide information on some dietary ideas and provide you some tips that'll help you maybe up your diet and nutrition game as well. Lastly, we have our blog. Our blog is going to provide information on those two things that we talked about, as well as just provide new information as we get it and share it with you guys. Today we're going to look at the PSOAS muscle. The PSOAS muscle is going to attach on the front of the vertebrae, which is the spine. It's going to attach on the front of the lower vertebrae from L1, so that's the first vertebrae in our lower back, down through L5, which is our last vertebrae in our lower back before it becomes the sacrum. It's going to go through and attach onto the front of the femur or your thigh bone. The main function of this muscle is hip flexion. So when we activate our PSOAS muscle, we're going to be doing hip flexion. What we find on a daily basis is most people are sitting all day long. So I know I'm not sitting on a chair here, I'm in a squat, but even if I straighten myself up nice and tall, my hips are still pretty well fully flexed. Now, when we do this on a daily basis, what we get is our muscles become shortened from sitting in that shortened position and weakened from never really having to work. And that causes the muscle to pull on the low back as well as on the hip by going through and attaching on that femur. Today, what we're really going to look at is a couple of stretches and strengthening moves that are really going to get you the most out of your PSOAS, right? And the most out of your whole hip and lower back area. One of the main things that we found is low back pain as well as hip pain often derives from this tightened PSOAS muscle, as well as the fact that it's weak and the muscles in the glutes are going to be stronger, and that's going to cause an imbalance in our hips. So without any more ado, we're going to take a look at some of these postures that are going to help open up and strengthen the hips. The first pose we're going to look at today is the cobra pose. Now you may have seen the cobra pose from yoga. We're also going to see it in physical therapy in the McKenzie method. It's a way of helping to reduce low back pain. The cobra pose is going to stretch your hip flexors as well as your abdomen. At the same time, you're going to strengthen your low back and you strengthen the mid back muscles while doing this movement. You're going to want to have either a mat or soft carpet, something to lay on that's comfortable. We're going to lay face down. We're going to bring our arms in to shoulder height. I'm going to have my feet relaxed, stretched out on the floor. I don't want to strain my neck and look up. That's not the goal. We're gently pressing up. We're using our thoracic muscles right through here, erector spinae, lower trapezius, and we're going to lift. Notice that my head is staying in alignment with my body. When we get to the point that we feel like we can't lift anymore with our spine, we're going to gently press down with our hands. Now at all times, we want to keep our hip bones down on the ground. So the hips want to stay down the whole time. And I'm going to just look up and towards the ceiling, towards the corner of the room. Take a deep breath and relax. Come back down. Now we're going to want to do these, hold them for about 15 to 30 seconds at the apex height, and follow that with about a 10 to 15 second rest. Repeat that about 3 to 5 times per day while working on relaxing and dealing with the lower back issue you may have, or just as a great way to strengthen and open up the anterior part, so abs and hip flexors, and strengthening our low back. The next movement we're going to look at is the front lunge. Now this movement you've probably seen before. You may have seen a warrior pose out of yoga, which is a modified version of this front lunge, right? So here or here. We're going to take a look at the basic actual movement here, which is the front lunge. First thing we want to do is we want to judge where this foot is going to land, right? So if we bring it in way deep inside here, we notice that there is less than 90-degree angle of the leg. As we start to do this movement, my knee is going to shift way past my toe. It's going to put a lot of pressure on my knee, and it's not really great for the ankle either. So what we want to do is step beyond 90 degrees. This way, when we go into this motion, start to lean forward, we still have plenty of room before the knee's going to cross the toe. So let's take a look at the motion. The first thing we want to do, now that we've got our leg placement, straighten our hips. So we're not aiming that way, we're not aiming this way. We want our hips straight in alignment with our legs. We're going to place both hands here on the leg that's bent for stability. We're going to press up to bring our knee off the ground. To continue this stretch, we're just going to reach forward with this knee a little bit. Again, not letting that pass the toe. Sit up tall, take a deep breath. You should feel the stretch come through, all through this left hip flexor, even not so much in the ab, mostly hip flexor and quad. You're going to feel that stretch. You're going to take a deep breath. We're going to relax and come back down. We're going to repeat that 3 to 5 times, holding it anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. We're also going to make sure to do both sides. So we're going to step out again a little past 90 degrees, make it so the toe back here comes under, hands for stability, press up so the knee comes off the ground, heel goes back a little bit, lunge forward. We'll feel that stretch on the right side on the hip flexor this time. Take a deep breath and relax. Good. Next, we're going to look at a basic move that you've probably tried before, you've done it, have seen somebody do at a gym, you may have done. Just going to give you some tips and tricks to make it the best way you can. First, the movement we're looking at is called a leg raise. So we're going to do raising both of our legs. So now we're strengthening the anterior side, strengthening our abs, strengthening our hip flexors. So one, we're working on lengthening the hip flexors. Now we're working on strengthening those same muscles. So we're going to lie face up this time. Again, you'll probably want to have a mat or carpet, something soft to lay on for doing these motions. So we're going to lay face up. We're going to bring our hands underneath our hips, and this is to help stabilize the body, stabilize the upper body, as well as it increases the fulcrum just a little bit for where the hips are flexing. We're going to keep our legs apart. We want to keep about a fist width of distance in between our 2 feet. If our feet are together, they're going to help stabilize each other, and we're not getting the same amount of work. So we're going to have the feet about fist width apart, hands under the hips. We're just going to gently elevate the legs. We're going to hold that for 5 to 10 seconds. Breathe, and we're going to relax and let that back down. Now you're going to want to repeat these again for 3 to 5 times, holding for that 5 to 10 seconds each. As you progress, you can even continue up to 15 to 20 seconds on those holds. Each day, as you do this, it's going to help strengthen rectus abdominis, strengthen the abs, strengthen those hip flexors. The last move we're going to look at today is the bridge pose. Now the bridge, excellent exercise. It's going to stretch, open up the hips in the front, the hip flexors. It's going to strengthen the glutes. It's going to strengthen our erector spinae, our quadratus lumborum in the low back. Good overall, excellent core strengthening movement. So like before, we're going to lie down face up. We're going to bring our feet flat on the ground at about 45 degrees. I'm going to place my hands to my sides. Now, you can vary how wide out you want to have them. I tend to not say you don't really want to go way out here, and you don't necessarily want to bring them all the way in either. We're going to have them at a gentle, neutral position. Then we're going to press the hips up. Right? We really want to start to feel that activation through the posterior chain, or the low back and the back portion of the hips. We're going to take a deep breath. Feel that stretch. And then just gently bring the hips back down. Again, we want to breathe through all of the motions that we're going to do. We're going to hold that for anywhere from, again, 15 to 30 seconds. And then want to repeat that 3 to 5 times. Thank you for watching our video. If you like the information in this, please feel free to subscribe and follow us so you can see more informative videos and get more information. As well, if you like the link below, we'll link you to our website where you can find more information as well as more detailed information on some of these stretches individually broken down just for you. Lastly, if you like, follow us on Instagram and Facebook and just keep up with where we're at, the new information as it comes out, so you can stay up to date. And remember, keep moving and do the best you can every day to have the most fun and get your body to the optimal position. Thank you.